Welcome back to the third video in the Inktober 2022 lineup, and we start this video with day 7 trip. For this one I decided to do some fun facts on magic mushies, and that's why I decided to do this trip as in a drug trip. So magic mushrooms apparently give the consumer a mind-melting feeling for some and a boost of connectivity for others. And by connectivity, I mean a connectivity to the universe basically and everything around them. They are used in treatments for depression and anxiety sufferers. There is over 200 species of these psychoactive mushies and around 19 are found here in Australia. You won't be able to control your brain like you normally would when you take these psychoactive drugs. It makes you very consciously aware of everything and opens the brain up to creative ideas or just philosophy in general. Some past geniuses like Einstein and Da Vinci would take drugs to tap into a higher consciousness, which is where they would get their ideas from, like the Akashic Records, which is the universe's library. If you don't know what the Akashic Records is, seriously go and have a look it up. It is very fascinating. It's basically everything that has existed in the past, present, and in the future is all basically wrapped up in a library that you can tap into and get ideas from. It makes people very spiritual. Tripping on these mushrooms has been going on for thousands of years, and it even dates back to the Mayans and the Aztecs. They are not addictive like other drugs, and the body does not crave them, so you do not get withdrawals from taking magic mushrooms. Now, I decided to do, for the illustration in this one, someone who was basically tripping on drugs, and this is how they are seeing themselves. They're looking at their hand going, holy shit balls, like their hand is turning into some mushrooms, some of their fingers are turning into mushies, and one finger, the thumb's turning into like a tongue coming out of a mouth. The pinky finger is a creepy sort of snake type creature, and there's an eye in the center of their hand. They've also got something coming out of their shoulder. They're like, feel like they're melting basically, and yeah, they're just tripping hard balls. So yeah, this is what I really wanted to portray with Trip. And when I first looked at this prompt, first thing I did think of was a drug trip basically. So that's the direction I went in. So I'll let you watch the rest of this, and I'll be back for the next prompt in just a second. Next up is day 8 match. And the first thing that popped into my mind was an actual match, as in like you light it up and you burn things with. So I decided to do a fun fact and decided to give you a little brief history on matches. So the first modern self-igniting match was invented in 1805 by Jean Chancel. The tip of the match was made up of potassium chlorate, sulfur, gum arabic and sugar. Then the tip would be dipped into an asbestos bottle of sulfuric acid. It was expensive and dangerous. These were apparently unpredictable and volatile, and people were being injured by them, so they never really took off. The first successful friction match was created by John Walker in 1826. The tip was coated in potassium chlorate antimony sulfate paste, that's a mouthful, which ignited when rubbed between sandpaper. Then in 1828, Samuel Jones patented the Promethean match, which was a small glass capsule with sulfuric acid, indigo coloured and coated in potassium chlorate and wrapped in paper. You had to crush the capsule with pliers, releasing the ingredients, and then it would ignite. In 1829, Sir Isaac Holden improved Walker's match, but Samuel Jones patented a version and released them called lucifers, but these matches were plagued with problems, such as violent explosive reactions, unsteady flames, and throwing sparks a long way. They were quickly replaced in 1830 by Charles Serrier, who ditched the white phosphorus for antimony sulfite, as people were eating the heads of the matches and basically eating the whole packets, as it would kill a person, so suicides were frequent via this method. The matches caused something called phossy jaw and other bone disorders when exposed to this white phosphorus. These were prohibited from 1872 across Europe. Then in 1890, the matchbook with matches and striking pad was developed, with the tips being red phosphorus. These are called safety matches, and that is what we know of today, is these matches of choice that every household basically has. There is so much history on matches, it's actually insane, so by all means go and check it out. It's crazy. With the illustration I decided to do for matches, I went with a monster, basically a match monster, and his hands are made of matches, and he's just, I don't know why I did this, it just came to me and I just wanted to do it. He's jammed one match through the back of his head. Maybe he just does this for shits and gigs, who knows, and it's lit at the end and it's burning, and I decided to get out the orange ink for this one as well. And then the other, you can see, has already been burnt. And yeah, maybe this monster will regenerate and grow some more matchsticks hands, I should say, and he just does this for shits and gigs and he gets a kick out of this, who knows. But yeah, this one I just went with and I just thought it was hilarious. So I will let you watch the rest of this prompt and I will be back again in the next one in a couple of minutes. Next up is day 9, nest. Now I didn't really know what to do with this one, so I sort of went digging for some nests, and I came across this particular Reddit user picture that a couple of the big online newspapers had covered, and I decided to do a fun fact on a hornet's nest with a creepy twist. But did you know that a hornet's nest actually became human looking to the point where people thought it was a decayed human body? A Reddit user called CountBubs posted a nightmare of an image of a hornet's nest fused to a wooden statue. The abandoned statue was found in the abandoned shed with the face exposed, eye holes, gaping mouth, etc. that was left to rot with the hornet's nest fused to the body of the statue. There was dead hornets all around and no alive hornets in the nest, but another Reddit user told them to not underestimate it as it may not be dormant. I must admit, if I walked into a shed and found a wooden statue, especially if it was abandoned and it had this mouth, this thing that looked like it was human looking at me, and there was a hornet's nest attached to it, I would be pretty damn terrified too. I'd probably freak out and run away. For the illustration that I want to do with this, well, for this prompt, I went with I wouldn't say it's a human, but it's some sort of weird dude, and there is a hornet basically building a nest on this weird human, and it's sort of dug its feet into the sides of the head of this person, and it's gnawing on the head, as you will see as the illustration goes on. The hornet's mouth is basically dug down into the skull, just sucking the blood out of him. The stinger at the back is probably, it is kind of a stinger, and what happens is it's jammed it through the back of his skull. It's coming out his mouth with all these tentacles, so all these tentacles are coming out of this stinger. So this is like not your average hornet, this is a mutated hornet, and as you can see there is holes all over the guy because this thing is building hot like nests on him, and it's building them into his skin. Once again, like my other illustrations, if you have a bit of a trypophobia, phobia I should say, yeah, probably don't watch the rest of this one. But as you can see, as the illustration goes on, I decided to bust out and use the yellow ink, and yeah, I don't think I've used this yellow ink before. I can't remember. I'll have to go back through my other archives of my Inktobers, but yeah, I wanted to make this thing look like a real wasp. Even though it's a mutant wasp, I wanted to get the picture across that this is a wasp and it's building a nest on this dude. So that is it. That is these three done. In this one, I will be back with the next video, which will have 4 prompts in it. And yeah, as we just keep nutting through these illustrations, as you guys are probably doing this as well. Yeah, I'm just going through and yeah, having a great time so far, coming up with stuff that I wouldn't usually draw. So that is it from me in this video. I will be back in the next one in a couple of days, and I will see you guys then. And yeah, stay strong and keep going. Bye.